I have decided to combine questions 3 and 4 into one presentation since I think that they would kind of go together and it would be counterproductive to do them separately. So question 3 is how did your production skills develop throughout this project? And question 4 is how did you integrate technology, software, hardware, and online in this project? My production skills developed greatly throughout this entire project, and I'm considering that the start of the blog until the final editing of this video. Um, there was so much that I didn't know going into this course and into the blog even that I had to learn in order to correctly create what I wanted this movie to be, or what we wanted this movie to be, since I didn't do this alone. There was a lot of stuff that I'd always just observed on screen and never really thought I'd be in the position where I'd be having to make that, such as the jump scares and underexposed lighting, and how to work with framing and positioning and angles just to show what a character is and what they're feeling and how to create fear among people. And through all my research in the blog, you can tell that I had to do a lot along the way to get to the point where I felt comfortable making this film. There was also stuff that you can't see in the blog that happened while we were actually recording that increased our production skill, such as these pictures here. You might not be able to see that much of a difference, um, but the one on the left that's directly under where it says filming is kind of further away, and this was the first shot in something that we wanted to shoot, where Rena, or the killer, was walking across the screen, and we wanted to do a tracking shot of her feet with the weapon dragging behind her. And I never really thought about how difficult that would be to do since it's so low to the ground and tracking is kind of hard since we aren't that small. And the first shot on the left was me attempting to crouch on the ground and kind of follow along with her without making noise or causing any disturbances or shaking too much, even though it was okay for it to be handheld. Um, and this is one of the scenarios in which the production, we just kind of had to alter it, and it taught me a lesson where we ended up using the tripod that we had as a stand to hold it down lower so that the camera was against the ground and I could hold the stick up higher and walk kind of on a normal person level, and just get closer to her feet and closer to the ground without causing any interferences. And there was so much that just went into this movie that I never really would have thought meant anything. But yeah, that was just one way that, our production had to change and, evolved over time. And we also incorporated the technology of the tripod into our film in a way that we never thought we would have. The most important part of how we incorporated technology into our film was the editing process after. We used iMovie and CapCut to put all our clips together and alter them how we needed. There was so much that I just hadn't done before. My only experience with editing and filming prior to this was on one project that wasn't really formal, so I just kind of had free reign over what I was doing and didn't have to try that hard in invoking anything in the viewer. I never had to play around with color or, transitions that meant anything in a sense. So this was really interesting that we got to use these two pieces of technology and to try to figure them out and break them down to use them to their best potential. Working with audio was definitely the thing that we were most uncomfortable with, in the sense that we had the least experience, since a lot of us had edited pictures or things before with the color, and it's kind of simple to just cut the clips together and fade them in and out when we need it. The audio is where it really got tricky, and we got to use sounds in iMovie and CapCut and sounds that we made ourselves to make the film a more enjoyable experience. And yeah, it was just really interesting.